Okay. Forgive me, I'm a little worn out. I got home from work about an hour ago, but I'm exhausted. This has been a very, very long week. Got a lot of people in the house right now. There's a lot of energy here, which is, I guess, good for lots of children. And I'm ready to rest this weekend. I'm hoping I can get some rest. So I just thought I would jump on real quick and update, do a little bit. I'm wearing my Every Child Matters shirt I got from my work. Today was really, really busy, and we were down a person, and I think I'm starting to get a toothache, so it's been a little intense, but I was able to get out at least about an hour early. And yeah, I'm here with Pancho. Come here, buddy. Come on. Come sit with me. You want to come sit with me? Come on. Okay, Pancho's not sure what he wants to do right now. I feel you, dude. I'm in the same boat. I'm not sure what I want to do now either. Yeah, I was kind of on the fence about jumping on. I don't know if I'm going to post this. Ooh. But I thought, well, I do need to do some reading. I came home and ouch. So I love you, Pancho. The cutest boy ever. Yeah, I got home and I saged because I just feel like I needed to ground a little. I've had my incense burning. I've got my sandalwood going. Kind of calms me down, makes me think of India. I've got my candle going. Let me do some Palo Santo. Just the energy for me lately has been kind of heavy. I'll be honest with you. I'm really, really super exhausted, super tired, and I don't know what's going on, but hopefully it shall pass soon too. I've been thinking about, I've been working on this Earth Angel project, and it has been getting on my nerves. You know how I feel about yesterday. Trump had a really bad day, as he should. He's a very bad person. But I really do, I was really furious hearing him snap and call another reporter. It's funny how I wonder if the first reporter was a brunette also. I mean, he really hates women, but especially loud brown women or brunette women or any women of color. But the New York Times finally reported on his mental decline today. Semi-decent article, actually finally talking about what we've all been noticing and screaming about, unless you're on Fox News, of course. I mean, they had no problem bringing it up for Biden. And, you know, that's valid. But why the fuck aren't they talking about it with Trump when it's so much worse? It's so obvious. And, you know, they do say people with dementia, they were talking about his father and how they would let his father go into the office even when he was, you know, his dementia diagnosis. He already had his dementia diagnosis, but they would just placate him and let him go into the office and think that he was still working and doing what he was supposed to be doing, when in reality, he just like what Trump is going through right now, he just has people telling him lies, constant lies, telling him he has the best poll numbers ever, telling him he's, you know, he's doing great, he's had the best MRI, he's just, and then it made a lot more sense. Not that there's any fucking excuse for you know, calling a woman, another person, but especially a woman, stupid. But then also, you know, ranting and calling Tim Walz retarded, which is just vile and disgusting. But he's like an old dementia patient. I don't have any empathy for him. The fucker shouldn't be in the office. But what more proof do we need? Like, he's lost it. He's that crazy, racist, dementia-ridden, syphilis brain grandpa that needs to be put out to pasture. Another report that came out too was about another report that came out too was about Pete Hegseth commanding that they murder, but they leave no people. I mean, he's really on the hook for murdering people. Sending out orders, illegal orders. It's just really sad. The disregard for human life. You know, I'm just so fucking tired. I can't wait till this chapter is finally fucking over. I'm so embarrassed to be human. I really am. I'm embarrassed to be a part of this planet. To be a part of this time frame where people will be like, where the fuck, how the fuck did it get to this? I mean, we judge Germans the same way. How did you let it get to this? And that's where we're at. How did we let it get to this? Well, we did, with stupid enablers. And you know, we went through that phase, as I was reading earlier in the book, where, you know, during Vietnam, how we just lost our humanity. And it really opened up people to be a lot more loving, and then we got taken over in the 80s with, the 90s and early 2000s, crazy consumerism and capitalism, and I just can't wait till everything changes. I'm so tired. So yeah, it's been a heavy day. It's been a heavy week. And hopefully, you know, I can get out tomorrow and maybe go to the library and just chill. But things are going to change. I know they will. I just hope I can continue to be patient and really trust that everything is happening as it should. I do. I'm just tired. I'm sure everyone is. Buncher's like, I'm out of here. I don't think I want to read from that book right now. The Secret Language of Signs. Let me see that one. How signs work. Although a full understanding of how signs work cannot be imparted by the written word, it is possible to provide an underlying perception of the dynamics of signs and their corresponding symbolism. Signs capture abstractions of the human condition and create a bridge between the realm of spirit and the realm of form, as well as reveal the connection that exists between seemingly diverse objects. They also can reflect our feelings and reveal our fears. The study of signs spans the ages. Therefore, signs are best understood in the context of the religious, cultural, and historical backgrounds from which they arose, as well as how they operate in your life. Fundamentally, signs have two functions. They serve as messengers of important information about your present circumstance and even about your future. And they act as reflections of where you are in your life. Messenger signs. Messenger signs can come from the waft of a candle smoke, or in the gentle murmur of the wind, or in a dream, or from the thousand swirls of consciousness around you. These kinds of signs can give you direct messages from spirit. They can give you guidance about your spiritual development or a warning regarding future events. They can also give you a deeper understanding of the relationship and situations in your life. One day when Rick was leaving for work, his front door was jammed. He had to throw his entire weight against it to get it open. Then, as he tried to open the garage door, the remote control malfunctioned, and he had to open the door manually. When he went to get into his car, he found the door locked, obstructed, and had to struggle to get it open. Realizing that the universe was trying to tell him something, he sat in his car in silence for a few minutes. In the stillness, as he tuned into his intuition, he felt that the signs were telling him not to leave home just at that moment. So he got out of the car and went back into his house. As he walked around, everything seemed in order. However, as he entered the basement bathroom, he became aware of a slight smell of smoke. Some bathroom tissues, which were in close proximity to an electric heater, had started to smolder. If left unattended, they most certainly would have burst into flame. Rick then realized that all the difficulties he had leaving his house had been a messenger signs warning him of danger. Thomas was about to enter into a partnership on a boat ownership. Just prior to the signing of his agreement, he had a dream about his new partner. In this dream, he saw the man looking friendly, but as he looked closer, he saw the warm countenance was actually a mask. In the dream, the partner-to-be took off the mask, and Thomas saw that his true face was devious and untrustworthy. Thomas recognized that this dream was a messenger sign that things were not as they seemed, so he did not go through with the partnership. In subsequent years, his dream proved to be prophetic, and Thomas saw the wisdom of his decision. It's weird. I had a crazy dream about my ex, and he changed, like physically, clothes and stuff, from like a business suit into like some very inappropriate, like age inappropriate little gangster clothes. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah. Both of these stories are examples of messenger signs that surround you at every moment. These signs, to me, it was saying like he never matured. He was still trying to be this light, this cool guy, when he's just a dork. He always has been. Bless his heart. These signs do not always signify some grander or magnificent future event or warn you of some devastating or dangerous occurrence to come. Most often, they're gentle messenger signs telling you things like, love yourself more today. Remember to pay the gas bill, or you are wonderful. Learning to hear these nudges can make your life much more balanced and harmonious. Reflection signs. Another way that signs function in your life is as reflections of your inner state of being. For example, those who think the world is full of lonely people and who see only lonely people wherever they go are most often lonely people themselves, even if they're not conscious of it. All of the lonely people they see in the outer world are signs or reflections of their inner loneliness. What you are aware of consciously is such a small part of what is actually occurring within your subconscious mind. However, the signs around you are always giving you clues to the deeper reality within you. Sarah was sitting on a park bench during her lunch break, and an old dog sidled up to her and looked at her with dark, pooling eyes. Sarah's heart went out to the dog, and she shared her sandwich with him. Like attracts like, and Sarah felt much more sadness and sympathy for the dog. She said, "Oh, you poor downtrodden thing. You look so unhappy. Everyone is taking advantage of you, aren't they?" After Sarah got up from the bench, an old man sat down to eat his lunch. Once again, the dog scuttled up for a handout. The old man said, "Come here, old boy. Hey, you're a real fighter, aren't you? You've shown him. Nobody was ever your master. That's a good boy." Both Sarah and the old man would swear to the reality of their perceptions of the dog, and in both cases, the dog was a reflective sign. To Sarah, the dog was a sign reflecting that she felt downtrodden in life, and that everyone was taking advantage of her. The old man had been a rebel all his life, so to him, the dog was a reflective sign that he felt he was up against the world. A very sad example of a reflective sign occurred when a pregnant woman asked me about something that had been perplexing her. She kept seeing dead animals, a dead bird, a dead mouse, a dead raccoon, and she wanted to know what these signs meant. I replied that usually when death appears as a sign, it's a powerful indicator of renewal and rebirth, for life must end in order to begin again, just as winter precedes spring. That made sense to her at the time. However, she later wrote to tell me that her doctors had found that her fetus was not viable and hadn't been for a very long time. The dead animals that she had been seeing were a reflective sign that her unborn child was no longer alive. Synchronicity. I can't say it that right. She began a completely new spiritual cycle in her life as a result of her baby's death. Ouch. I'll never forget that morning. I didn't know if Ellie had already died, but Ellie, my daughter, 6 years old, going on 7, couldn't stop crying. She said, "This is the worst day of my life." And I was like, "You're being rather dramatic." And then later that night, I delivered Ellie Bum, stillborn. Reflective signs can also give you an inner view of deep emotional processing. If there's an old karmic pattern that is just about to surface, it will first appear in your life as a reflective sign. If there are old childhood issues that are ripe to be resolved and healed, they will first appear in your life as a reflective sign. Samantha's father left home when she was a young girl and never returned. She suppressed a child's natural inclination to grieve over the loss of a parent. Instead, she offered a shoulder for her mother to lean on and seemed to cope with the situation very easily. She never allowed herself to process the myriad of emotions that she felt as a result of the loss. As an adult, though, memories of childhood and her father were hidden in the far recesses of her mind, and she often had difficulty with relationships. Each time she started a relationship, her partner would soon abandon her. This negative relationship pattern occurred again and again, and true love eluded her. Damn, this is hitting close to home. Just after Samantha's 35th birthday, she began seeing and hearing things that reminded her of her past. Twice, she walked down a city street and saw someone who looked exactly like her father. There seems to be a surfeit of articles and documentaries in the media about parents abandoning their children. No matter in which direction she turned, the universe gave her signs that stimulated memories of her own childhood abandonment. These signs were indicative that the pain that had been buried so deeply within her was rising to the surface to be released. As a result of these myriad reflective signs, Samantha went into therapy, and eventually she healed and released her fear of abandonment. And within a year, Samantha began a loving and lasting relationship. Reflective signs are valuable because they help you to become aware of the underlying reality present in your life. And this self-awareness leads to wisdom and ultimately to peace. It is important to be aware of your subconscious emotions because if left unattended, they can perpetuate physical illness and emotional difficulties. Why signs reflect your beliefs? The visible realities surrounding you are symbols of your inner invisible world. Everything around you, every situation you encounter, every experience you have, it is filled with signs regarding your life. In order to understand this, it helps you to know the underlying dynamics of why this occurs. First, you must understand how beliefs work. Because the signs in your life emanate from your beliefs. A belief is a thought or a perception that you consider a fact or a reality. Beliefs are very powerful. They determine the way you think, you feel, you behave. In fact, they determine the fabric of your life. Your personal signs emerge directly from your beliefs, and they can literally create the circumstances of your life. We all have conscious and subconscious beliefs about ourselves and the life around us, and sometimes these beliefs are at odds with one another. The beliefs that specifically dictate the quality of life, however, are our subconscious beliefs, which are generally so deep-seated that we're not even aware of them. They affect our perception of reality just as tinted glasses allow only certain colors to reach our eyes. For example, a man's conscious belief that belief might be that men and women are equal in their ability to drive vehicles. However, subconsciously, he may believe that men are superior drivers. His conscious mind may not even know what his subconscious mind believes. Yet he selectively sees only the reckless drivers who are women, which validates his subconscious beliefs. Our subconscious programming directs the way we see the world around us and also determines the way others see us. This programming comes from the way others related to us when we were children, from decisions that we made in past lives, and from the collective unconscious of the society in which we live. If you're not sure what your subconscious beliefs are, just look at your life. Your life is an accurate projection of your subconscious beliefs about yourself in life. Wow. Perhaps you've heard the expression, you are what you think. This refers not only to what you know you think consciously, but to what you don't know you think, your subconscious beliefs. A young girl being told repeatedly that she's clumsy provides an example of how subconscious beliefs begin to develop. The child's critical faculties are not developed enough to reject this negative programming, so her subconscious accepts the idea that she's clumsy, or scatterbrained, as my mom would tell me, or messy, or not that smart. This belief of clumsiness begins to become a part of the girl's reality, and she begins to see herself as a clumsy person. Whatever is expected tends to be realized so that the child grows up being clumsy. Her programming is so deeply embedded in her mind that it becomes part of her ground of being. When a subconscious belief becomes part of your ground of being, it doesn't seem like a decision or a belief. It just seems true. Our inner core beliefs can be likened to gravity. Gravity is so much a part of our ground of being that we don't have conscious awareness of the many pounds of pressure exerted on every square inch of our bodies at every moment. Wow. Gravity is such a fundamental part of what we take for granted as reality that we almost never think about it. Core beliefs become so much a part of our view of ourselves and the world that we don't even know that they are beliefs. They are embedded in our personal energy fields, and these subconscious beliefs continually coalesce into form. As your energy emanates from your body in undulating waves all around you, it projects your beliefs into the world. Beliefs act as magnets, pulling you to your situations and people that are congruous with your subconscious beliefs. In other words, your personal world is created and manifested by the core beliefs in your subconscious mind. Here's an example of the way core beliefs work. If you have a subconscious belief embedded in your personal energy field that people can't be trusted, this belief is constantly projected from you. Even when consciously you are feeling very trusting, the emanations from your energy field will draw people into your life who aren't trustworthy. Shit. So if you constantly have people in your life whom you can't trust, this is usually a sign that either you have a subconscious belief that people cannot be trusted, or you are not trustworthy. Or more likely, you don't trust yourself. Sometimes when people attempt to adopt new beliefs, this is effective only for a short period of time because the power of the subconscious mind is so strong. A method to begin reprogramming your subconscious mind to develop a more positive belief is discussed in Chapter 3 in the section Surrounding Yourself with Signs. We will definitely go to that later. The signs in your life constantly reflect your subconscious beliefs about the world around you. If you want to discover what is occurring within the depths of your being at any given moment, just look and listen to the signs around you. I am exhausted. I'm going to go ahead and stop there. That's a short one. Yeah, for me it's a little bit of a short one. That's a really good one. Oh, I am so tired. And Pancho's a little tired too. I may just curl up and maybe watch the movie Signs. Find something. But I am still grateful. I may be exhausted. I may be tired. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to breathe comfortably without issues. I'm grateful that that my hands weren't nearly in pain as they have been. I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for the roof over my head, even if it is a little noisy at times. And yeah, I'm grateful for my job. And I am grateful for anyone that is listening, anybody that's been a part of my spiritual journey, even the good or the bad, even the heifers, I'm grateful for, because I really have learned a lot. May not feel like it right now. I am rather exhausted, but I'm also at peace. I just, I know this too shall pass, and I will continue to work on myself and heal myself so that I will no longer attract what I don't want. And with that being said, I'm going to close for tonight, and I will probably be back on tomorrow. Love you. Bye.